What's going on, everybody? So what you're looking at right now is nXDesign's rules, okay? Yesterday was pretty entertaining, man. I got him to come in there. You know, it was a pretty wild ride. The dude was in his stream blurting out the N-word, going wild like a savage. But bro, my job is not here to stop someone from being prejudiced or to worry about being called the word nigga. That's not what the job was. The job was he was accused of welching JP or whatever the kid's name is. And I was asked to investigate and figure out what the whole situation was, and that's what I did. So, moving on from that, we have to understand something. I'm going to investigate thoroughly, and I put the word out for him to get back to me. He didn't. So the previous 2 videos was just me assuming he was, in fact, a welcher. Now I want to take the time out to thank nXDesign for coming to speak to me and for us to figure it out, because he basically said that Boogie Online reached out to him, Golden Showers, like they tried to figure out what was going on. He just banned them. He didn't give a fuck about anything they had to say. So I just want to I appreciate that he was willing to to stand up and speak to me about the situation. Now, looking at his rules, the one thing that I noticed, as a matter of fact, my wife noticed it, he doesn't say coins in any part of his rules. So anybody that wants to that's wagering coins with him, and these are his rules, you're pretty much giving a donation. And I want to stop this right now, because I'm going to go into a lot. I'm going to try to get to a lot of things in this video and make you understand. The number one thing that I try to help with in this community is for these people and these kids and these grown men to be smarter. It's like the Apple rules, the terms of service, the Apple terms of service. They could come here and pick up my wife one day. I don't read the shit, so I'm liable for it. Every time iTunes has an update, I don't even go through all those fucking 19 pages. I just say, yeah, hell yeah, I accept. You could be signing your asshole away. But this is something where somebody is choosing to go into a game with this man. Okay? Now, he also sent me proof that this guy JP was in the stream. Now, we know that Twitch doesn't update regularly. We understand that. But the bottom line is this. It doesn't matter about all that stuff. He makes his rules so that it's for him. I told him straight up, the only thing that he's guilty of is being a con artist, and that's it. He did not welch JP, because as long as JP's name is shown anytime in his chat, based on his rules, it's already disqualified. It doesn't matter when he chooses to use it. And like I said, Kilo was in the chat yesterday when I was talking to NX, and he said that my rationale and my logic is flawed. And I told Kilo, number one, I don't need to prove myself to any man. Number two, it doesn't make any sense that my logic is flawed, because if he's saying that these are his rules and you're choosing to go, he's not going out there and just trying to rob people and whatever like that. People are coming to him. It's his house, his rules. You ever go to somebody's house and they got a rule and you break that rule, but initially when you get into the house they don't say nothing, but at any point during the night, oh yeah, you should have took your shoes off. That's my rule. Did that ever happen to you? How is my logic flawed? And Kilo also compared it to iMaverick stealing money from Cream Killers or Dream Killers. How is that the same thing when him and Dream Killers were friends? That's not the same logic. It doesn't make any sense. This is something that JP doesn't know nXDesign on a personal level. iMaverick chose to steal Dream's money. That's different. And I'm gonna stand by what I say. I don't care who agrees with me, and I don't care who disagrees. The whole thing is this. I'm just putting the information out there. You have to make a logical decision. Every decision everybody's not gonna like. That's not you know what I'm saying? I'm used to that. Everybody's not gonna agree with every decision I make, but I'm gonna try my best to do the most logical thing for the community. This man, like I told him in my chat, the only thing he's guilty of is being smarter than these other individuals. Because if you're gonna play somebody and the fucking rule is if you turn your PS4 on, you lose, you're an asshole for going in there. Now, if you're a guy like @CheapCod that sells MUT coins and steals, that's different. That is different, because you're going to him because he sells coins, and he's bro, the guy's apparently been robbing everybody. Every day I go to fucking Twitter, somebody else he robbed. He lets you go first, and then he just blocks you. So that right there is ridiculous, because his whole thing is about selling coins. This man puts a list of rules that, first of all, a lot of people don't even know how to read. Dudes just running around and playing games and can't even read. That's number one. Other than that, like, bruh, how can I say that he's guilty of welching the kid when the kid, he shows me proof that he's in his chat? And like I said, Twitch doesn't update. Ms. G Maya wasn't in my chat for fucking 5 hours and she was still there on Twitch. That's not the point. The point is, he does this so that it's a no-win situation. And if you read the rules, which Nightbot showed, and he didn't change the rule before I was sent that, because I had another person send me his rules before he sent it to me. And it wasn't changed. But yet still, everybody, oh bro, he did that. You can't drop in the zones or whatever like that. His rule states that you can't drop him. If you run weak slant 3, it already has a person in the zone. He's saying you can't manually drop him in zones. All the shit is mad complicated. You know the best way to deal with it? Not play the motherfucker. He's not, bro, I told him, listen, in my eyes, he didn't welch JP. I don't care about who thinks my logic is flawed, who thinks this, I don't give a fuck about any of that. That's not my concern. My concern is to look at it on a case-to-case basis. And as a matter of fact, this is the second guy that JP has accused of welching that didn't. He accused Kid Cutter, who agreed to a 7-point line, which means that you were giving him 7 points, JP, and you still accused him of welching. He answered immediately when I messaged him on Twitter, and we got it squashed right away. Now you got this where I'm looking at rules, and the rules are just so wild. I would never play this guy with those rules. Basically, if you press X, you lost. It's his house, his rules. So you can't get mad at him for utilizing his own rules and taking advantage of people's stupidity. That's what America was built on. This is what it is. You don't read the fine print, like I said, and I'm waiting at one day where Apple comes to my house like, yo, bro, we need your asshole. And a lot of you guys are guilty of that. Anybody with an Apple iPhone has never read the whole terms of service. Nobody has ever done that. I don't give a fuck. I got friends that are lawyers that never read the terms of the terms of service, and they're like, fuck this shit, and they're very successful lawyers. But they're not gonna take the time out because they're gonna assume that everything is okay. You can't assume that everything is okay with a fucking regular streamer, a guy that's just like out there just trying to do whatever. Nowhere in his rules does he say anything about coins. Nowhere. So if you give him coins up front, you're giving him a fucking donation. And that's what frustrates me the most, is that people want me to side with the, okay, yeah, he was saying nigger and he called me a nigger. It's just words. I said very wild shit about Monster Chappie. I don't have no problem with Monster Chappie. I got a problem with iMaverick. He's down with Madden Mastermind. That's my problem. Monster Chappie, me and him were talking in the chat yesterday. I got nothing but love for these dudes. But it's about who they're with that I have a problem with. Don't get it misconstrued. I've been calling nigga my whole life. That doesn't matter. That kind of stuff, and all you guys are saying, oh yeah, but he said nigga, I can't forgive that. You probably sag your fucking pants. You probably portray what a nigga is. So I don't want to hear nothing from you. You motherfuckers ain't doing nothing for the movement. You weren't out there marching with MLK. You weren't out there doing nothing with fucking, Malcolm X. You weren't doing shit. So I don't want to hear nothing about black, all that kind of fucking bullshit. A lot of you motherfuckers are still sagging your pants with your whole boxer shorts showing or your tidy whities. Get the fuck out of here. If nXDesign wants to rant in the stream and say nigga and people want to still support him, God bless him. But as far as it goes right now, the verdict is simple. In the case of nXDesign welching JP, whatever those numbers are at the end of it, he's been ruled not guilty. Everybody is to stand down that's affiliated with GmiasWorld and leave that man alone. One love.